Hi there, class. This is Ruthanna coming to you from New Mexico in my strange little upstairs room here. And I can tell this isn't going to be the best video in the world, but I hope it will be good enough. So, I'm here to talk to you about chapters 3 and 4, which are pretty straightforward actually, but I told Kathy she ought to just show a movie, but then I couldn't come up with a movie for her to show. I think I'm losing whatever brain cells I had. Anyway, chapter 3 talks about the options that you have in a conflict situation. And one of the things that I think is really important for you to understand is that you've got 3 basic options. You can say, well, it's all about you, or you can say it's all about me, or you can say it's all about us. So the all about you options include avoiding and accommodating. Avoiding isn't necessarily a bad option. 30 years ago I would have told you that it was a terrible option, but I have less energy than I had 30 years ago. So avoiding is a good option when the issue's really not worth the energy to do anything about it. So they are things that you can walk away from, and in a lot of cases I would say that those issues don't even constitute conflict because they haven't really affected the relationship. They're not going to threaten the relationship, but sometimes we make a mountain out of a molehill, so to speak, and we think that an issue needs attention, and if we think about it further, then we say, well, maybe it really doesn't. I'm trying to think of an example right now, and of course, because I'm in New Mexico and retired, it's harder for me to think of examples, but let's see. Nope, not coming up with one right now. Oh, okay, I've got one. My neighbor had said he would look after my dogs while I was away in Rhode Island last month. Well, I couldn't get a hold of him, and I couldn't get a hold of him, so I left a note on his door, and I was in Rhode Island before his grandmother told me, it's the young man who lives with his grandmother next door, that he really didn't feel comfortable going in my house to take care of the dogs. And in the meantime, my dogs are in here, and I left them lots of food and water and puppy pads, but dogs aren't like cats. You can't leave them alone for any length of time, and I was really upset. Fortunately, I had a backup plan, and I called my backup plan, who came over and made sure the dogs were okay and played with them a little bit and all that stuff. But the question is, do I do anything about this or not? Do I follow up? And the answer is no. I'm avoiding this conflict because it's my next door neighbor, and I really don't see any utility in pursuing this. I mean, I didn't know him well enough to understand that he was uncomfortable when I asked him. Now I can read those nonverbals a little bit better and realize that he is a young man who's sort of brought up to respect his elders, which I guess I am now, and he had a hard time saying no to me. Can't imagine why. So it's not, to me, the preservation of the neighbor relationship is more important than being angry over what happened. I wouldn't have left unless I had a backup plan, obviously. I hope you think that's obvious, but it's not worth it's not worth engaging over, because the neighbor relationship is more important than the issue. The second, it's all about you kind of option is accommodation, and that's when you give in to what the other person wants to have you do. That was basically the story of my life. My last year at APU, I didn't want to make waves. I didn't want to do conflict with anyone, particularly like the last 3-4 months, so whatever they said, I did. Or I was passive aggressive and I didn't do it, but we'll get to that one in a little while. So accommodating is a good choice when, again, it's an issue that means more to the other person than it does to you, or when you don't have the resources, the energy, the emotional energy to deal with the conflict. I'm going to end this here to make sure that I can actually upload it to YouTube, and then we will continue with the other two strategies. Bye.